Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
And we're live.
We're sorry we're a few seconds late this morning, or this evening, or this afternoon, wherever you happen to be. We had a little technical difficulty where we could not hear one person at a time. So we're all resolved. All the gremlins are gone. Hello.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Don't say that.
Made a beat.
I'm very happy to be here today. I was in sort of like a lower kind of energy level yesterday, and I'm feeling super awesome today. So I'm really glad to see you guys. Yeah, speaking of you guys, we should do intros. This is a new exciting thing I'm going to try, as I often just launch right into stuff. So I know everybody knows you guys. All right, so let's start with Caro today. Tell us all about you, Miss Caro.
Hi, my name is Cara Brown. I just finished running. That's why I look like a tomato. But I am an urban fantasy author. I also write under the pen name of Faye Black. And I'm mentioning that right now because I actually have a short story in an anthology that's coming out on September 16th. So, and on my channel, you can find me basically living the life of Caro. So if that's something that you're interested in, it's over there. So, and today I am working on the novella that I have to send to my alpha, so then I can send it to my editor and maybe have that published this year. I don't know. Dreams.
This all sounds delightful. I think you should put the link in the chat to the anthology so I can put it in the description for later.
I will do that for you.
Awesome.
Come on, Bones. What are you doing to yourself?
Michelle, welcome today.
Thank you.
And every day.
Hi, guys. I'm Michelle Schusterman. I'm a middle grade and young adult author, and my YouTube channel is Writing Workshops, Traditional Publishing Advice, and Writing Blogs.
We love it. All right, fantastic. DAL, tell us all about you.
Hello there, humans. I am DAL CECIL RUNO, the partially blind alien who's an own voices author, aka the ace from space. I write primarily science fiction, but I like to explore other genres with my short stories, and I also write poetry. Today, I will be working on a horror short story that started to happen yesterday. I don't know how that was, but yeah, I wrote a brief introduction to that, so I'm going to be working on that today, hopefully. Oh, and I have to set up my own stream later. Yeah, that's the other task.
That's a lot. You got a full schedule today.
Yes.
Robert, tell us all about you.
My name is Robert Jones, and my channel is Story Detective. I analyze everything story-oriented, so if you like craft or even keyboard reviews and tech that may be helpful to writers, then come on down.
I can vouch for your keyboard reviews because this is what you were the reason I had.
Gosh. Lisa, I watched your review of that, and just like the ASMR of it.
that was you were so happy too, because I got to it late, but I was just kind of sitting here. I was like, man, look at her, she's so freaking happy in this video, like.
But guys, that is the perfect keyboard for Lisa. It's pink, it's retro style, it's like ABBA-ish pink Lisa. It's very Lisa. There's no other
keyboard. It would be this one. So yes, that is exactly true. So yeah, all right. Anyway, all thanks to Robert. He's the one, and I went back and forth because it was kind of a pricey keyboard, but he is the person who convinced me that I should get it, and I love it. So you should definitely check out Robert's keyboard reviews. Mm-hmm. So speaking of me, enough about you people. Let's talk about me. I'm a traditionally published author. This is really an awful transition. Sorry. I'm a traditionally published best-selling author of 9 books. I primarily write romantic comedies, and earlier in my career, I wrote self-help dating advice. And on my channel, we talk about writing advice and how to get published. And if you want to write a book that you're super proud of and get it published, this is a good place to be. So we are super glad that you guys are here today. Yay! I'm super glad that you guys are all here today. But I'm also really, really glad to see our awesome chat. And guess who was first today? Oh, I'm loving the hair today. Look at this. I love that avatar. I know, right?
Look, I'm here for it.
I know. I love it.
Camera. Here, have your moment. Go on.
Aww. Here, hold on. Good to be big.
Everybody loves Bones.
Aww. I
Oh,
love
Bob.
that puppy. Such a sweet doggy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, what a cutie pie. All right, so welcome, Spence. We're so glad you made it today. Devin's here. Hey, Devin. Eva's here. Oh, Eva, do you have a new avatar too, or is that just my imagination?
That's a new avatar. She went from cartoon self to noir.
I love it. I love it. Super cute. Starlight Sapphire's here. Yay. We're so glad you made it. Paige is here. Every time I put that avatar up, I'm like, ooh, that's cool. Like I literally have the same reaction every time. Love it. Paige, we are super excited that you are here also. Okay, Word is here. We're so glad you made it today. Oh my gosh. Laurel's here. I'm going to do my stuff. I'm going to go do stuff and remember to make it back here in time. Yes. I hope you make it too. But if not, there will be a recording. You can still watch it later. Orla's here. Ooh, I love
Hello, Orla.
Would you like an update your avatar day that I missed? Because
No, that's the same avatar.
It's the
Is
same.
it?
That is the same. Because I'm always enchanted when I see it. I'm like, oh, it's Orla.
I know. It's so cool. I feel like a lot of people are doing new avatars this week. Okay. Hey, Steven. We're so glad you made it. Caro's here.
What?
Oh, hello, Caro.
Hello, Caro. We're so glad you made it. And Laurel made it back.
Yay.
What a relief. Paige says just in time. Spence, someone get damn gremlins out of my house. They've spread and they aren't just assaulting the technology anymore. Now they're going after the cat. Yeah. And this morning it was like this weird musical chairs. Like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. So not good. We're sorry for the gremlins, Spence. Sarah's here. Hey, Sarah. Oh, hey, Sarah. I'm gonna totally pull a Caro right now. So we want to talk to you, Caro, and I want to talk to you later. I don't know if you were here last week. We talked briefly about how we are going to be doing. We're going to be doing at the end of the month on Saturday night. We are going to do Caro and Lisa's Boozy Planner Orama. And since you're a planner girl, we thought maybe you'd like to hang out with us. So, and anybody else who happens to be like a planner queen or king, reach out because this is like going to be new and weird, and so it'd be fun to have other planner lovers too. Yeah. All right. Sorry for the sidebar. This is how Caro and I met, though. I was literally on either her stream or Tamara's stream.
You were on my stream, and I was like, Lisa, I'm trying to talk to you.
Like, check your Facebook, girl, and I'm like, all right. So yes, it's a beautiful friendship. Hello, Bonnie. We're so glad you made it. Novelist Allie is here. Hey, we're so glad you're here today. I love the expression on her face and her avatar. Catherine says, hello, beautiful writers. I love right? It doesn't look like that's the cats. What the cat's thinking right there. Love it. All right. Hey, Phoebe. Just found you guys for the first time. I'm so happy to be here. We are so happy that you are here, Phoebe. Welcome. You also have a great avatar. Oh, my gosh. You look like you're the happiest person in the universe.
Yes.
That's my job. No, I'm kidding. I'm super glad you're here today. Welcome. Hi, Georgie.
Hey, Georgie.
We have such a good group today. Oh my gosh, you guys. Stacy's here. Hello, Stacy. Oh, and StreamYard jumped.
Hello.
All new squad. Hello. So I don't know what happened to Savvy. As you guys may have heard, I'm terrible at checking Facebook. So it's possible she had some conflict today, but I did send her the thing. So we'll either see her later or we won't, but I have no idea. I'll have to check for it.
She's probably sleeping or walking Chewy.
Yes, I know. A lot of times I think we coincide with Chewy's walk time. So often she'll pop in here, a few minutes after Chewy's little walk. So, well, he's big, so he gets a big walk. Devin, yes, Bones loves to be on the stream. Bones likes to be on all streams. And that's because Bones knows that he's the star. All right. Paige says, Doll, your intro gets me every time. Ace from Space. Love it. Stacy says, I'm writing genealogy emails today. A great way to stay productive. That is a great way to stay productive. All right. What is everybody else working on today? Everybody, wait, Marcia Savvy says, totally face planted with that segue transition, Lisa, what I love. All right. And so savvy. And she says, hi, Daily Brown, Schusterman, Detective Doll. Love that one today. And Deidre's here. Hey, Deidre. All right. So Stacy was telling us what she's doing today, which sounds super cool. I'm very interested in that. And I want to know what you guys are working on. Let us know in the chat what you're going to. Hopefully, you probably have already started. Look, you have, because you guys are so good already. All right. I'm going to try and get through StreamYard, and then we'll talk about what everybody's working on. Let's see. Kat's here. Hey, Kat.
Hello, Kat.
Yay. Hey, Tina. So glad you made it today.
Kat also does writing sprints on her channel, if you guys are not already subbed to Kat.
That's right. She does. When is Kat's stream?
I'm not sure, but I know
Before
she
yours.
posted it. Yeah, she posted it before yours.
Okay, fantastic. So if you guys are, Kat, make a note in the comments about what time your stream is, and I will, I'll post it in the description for later. So awesome. All right, so check out Kat's stream next week before mine. All right, Tina says hello. Sarah says, yes, I do remember. Now we're back to drunken Planorama. I remember that from last week, and ooh, that would be so much fun. I'd be up for it. Yay!
Yay!
All right, fantastic. It's one of those things that people are either going to be like, ooh, love it. Caro, dear, what are you sharing with us? Hold on here. What? Fire.
Cool.
Diva Caro.
This is a birthday gift from Tamara because I sent her that Good Vibes Only fan. So she sent me this fan. And then I sent Dana a fan. So I think at some point we're going to call our gang the Fan Flips.
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
I think that's so awesome. Oh my gosh, that's great. Isaiah's here. Hi, Isaiah. Isaiah says, using the stream for company while I'm at work. Yay, we're so glad you made it. Nicole, hello, party people. Thanks to Savvy for letting me know this was happening. Thank you, Savvy. She'll be here, I'm sure. I'll have to check Facebook and see where she is today. Anyway, but thank you, Savvy, for telling Nicole all about us. All right, you guys. So tell me what you're working on, and we're going to talk about what everybody's working on in the chat today. So, Carol, what are you working on today?
I'm working on sending more chapters to my office so that way I can polish it up before I send it to my editor.
Awesome. Michelle, what are you working on today? Michelle, you're muted. Oh, no.
Come back, Michelle.
I'm sorry. Okay, good? You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm working on revisions for book 2 in a series that actually just last night I got copies of book 1.
Yay! Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Look you big. Yay!
Middle grade.
Kudo kids.
Yeah. I wrote it with, where are they? Alex and Maya Shibutani.
Wait, hold on. You're coming back.
Nice.
Love it.
But it wasn't ghostwriting. They actually did credit me. I'm sorry, one more.
Okay. Wait.
No.
Hold on. I totally got rid of it. Hold on. There we go. Look at that. Oh, that's so awesome.
Well, yeah, it was super fun. It's set at the Tokyo Olympics, which, you know, it was actually
Right.
They bumped it to September 8th, so it comes out in a couple weeks. I'm very excited.
That's super exciting. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm sorry, I totally rearranged everything. Once again, I hit the wrong button. I think you know this happens. Now I'm all out of order. Okay, Doll, you told us, what are you working on today? Are you working on the horror book, right?
It's a short story horror with a blind narrator in first person present. So
love it.
I don't know. I don't know. What I wrote just yesterday is a bit of a nonsense, but we will see. We will see.
That's okay. Yeah. You know what? I think first person is that's actually my favorite POV to write in. So I'm excited. I think it'll be cool. Give yourself a little more credit, doll. You're on a roll now.
I'm on a roll. It's true. I'll see what I can do with this.
That's right. That's right. You're making this happen. Story Detective, what are you working on today?
I'm getting a lot of frozen moments, so hopefully you guys can hear me. But I'm working on my quarantine story, and I made some deductions this morning that I think are going to work quite well. So I'm excited to move along with this.
Don't you just love that part in the story where like you're far enough along where things just magically start happening, like where all your brain has been working all this stuff for a while, and you're getting these like oh, like I love that. It's like the best part. I say that about 9 different parts of writing the book, but that's one of my favorites. All right.
The epiphany of, I know what's happening now. Yay.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites too.
Exactly. So, all right, hold on. StreamYard jumped. Hold on. Okay. Nicole Deidre says, working on a client project today. We're so glad you made it. Need a whole lot of words, so we better get started then. All right. Charlie's going to be finishing a short story. Joanne Ninja Hen is here. Finishing edits of my middle grade dark fantasy about a child who enlists the help of the, I can't say this, the Tuatha De Danann. Is that right?
Tuatha De Danann, yeah.
Tuatha. That sounds
Tuatha De Danann. It's
Irish myth. What do you guys say it?
It's okay. Don't worry.
To save his father, who was kidnapped by goblins under Baltimore. Baltimore. All right. Awesome. Okay, words got a high fantasy 0 draft. Love that. All right. Keo says, I now have either 2 stream over on Twitch or 2 streams over on Twitch. Not quite sure. Nicole is making coffee and stockpiling blogs. Always smart. Kat's live stream is 8:30 a.m. Eastern, just before mine. Woo-hoo. And Devin says YouTube isn't a cat person. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, and CO Savvy says Wednesday is turning into its own 24-hour write-a-thon, right? It is totally Writer Wednesday. You got
yes.
You got me, you got Doll, you got Savvy's sleepover. I have their
cat.
Right? I said cat, right? Cat's first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whew, crazy.
Yeah, I was looking at the schedule that I have, and I was like Wednesdays and Saturdays are like the super busy days, where before it used to be like Mondays and Thursdays. But
yeah, I think that's true. So I feel like we should put this up on the board here today. Cara Brown just wanted to say that I read your book and loved it a lot. Paige, I could not agree with you more. I loved it too. Awesome. We need a book cover here. I have it on my Kindle. Hold on.
What? No, that's okay.
We'll come back.
You should go to the next comment. There you go.
We can come back to Paige's comment once I get my crap together. Okay. Looking to see how to get my. Oh, right. Because for you guys who don't know, Kat had like a little drama and she got banned from streaming with YouTube.
Because YouTube is silly sometimes.
They are silly sometimes. That is the truth. Sarah says, I'm doing some super exciting kitchen cleaning this morning. It's overdue. I hate how awful it is right now. After that, I'll do some editing. I, too, cannot write when the kitchen is dirty unless I close the door to my office and pretend it doesn't exist. All right. Fantastic. Very good. All right, you guys. Devin says, Sundays have 1 billion streams, too. Deidre says, am I saying this right? Is it Deidre or Deidre? It's Deidre, isn't it? I think it was Deidre. Tell me if I'm wrong, Deidre, Anne, which I'm always saying part of your name. Tell me if I'm saying it wrong. I think we talked about this before, and I'm pretty sure it was Deidre, Anne, but I could be wrong. All right. Started a channel. Not sure if or when I should be doing live sprints yet. Is there a spreadsheet of times that you guys use so as not to overlap?
Same question here.
Why, yes, there is. Cara Brown has a spreadsheet.
What a shock.
She is probably putting a link to it in the chat right now. Is that true?
It's Deidre. You said it right.
Is it? Oh, good.
Yeah.
No, I said it. Well, then I said it wrong also. Is it Deidre? Deidre.
It's Deidre. That's how she's
Okay.
phonetically spelling it. And I did put that link in the comment section. It's like you were reading my mind as I was doing it.
wow, it's like I know you or something. Okay.
Yeah. Those are only the ones that I know about. Obviously, I am not the governor of YouTube streams. So like if somebody says, hey, I stream at this time, I put it up on there. And if they don't tell me, then I just don't know about it. So
right. I think you are the governor, or yeah.
I don't want to be the governor. I do not want this power.
She's the master. All right, that was, you can tell where I'm going with this. It's about time to sprint, everybody. This was terrible. We all have all these exciting projects that we want to work on. So let's get started with a 5-minute warm-up. Everybody stretch those little fingers and let's get going and get those kitchens clean and the words written. And when we come back, we'll do a little more chat because we have an interesting topic today. And we will get on to some 20-minute sprints. So let's get ready to roll. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right, everybody. Okay, so that was totally weird. I have like, it was like this like repetitive like ding 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 thing. Okay, here we go. There we go.
Okay.
All right, we're back, everybody. Yay.
Back.
Weird. I'm so glad. So Paige had made, wasn't it Paige who made that awesome comment, right? Here we go.
Yes. Yes. About Caro's book.
Right. Book. Hold on, I'm trying to find a good spot for it. There we
Yay.
go. Awesome. Love the cover.
Exactly. Right. I also have it here.
Oh, hold on. Doll's going to show us. There we go. Woo-hoo.
Look at this. It's
Love.
Caro's book.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Love it so much I bought it twice.
I know. So I've been doing these like rom-com giveaways.
Caro
like,
hiding behind the phone.
Come back, Carol.
I saw it because my magnifier flew over it. It's like, oh, she's hiding.
We love it.
I
We
bet not
love
what
it.
you speak of.
Also,
love
available audiobook.
There is an audiobook, yes. And there's a story behind that audiobook because I tried for months to get ACX to talk to me about when they were going to publish it. And they're like, we'll get to you when we get to you. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I get a notice from the narrator saying, congratulations on the release date. I was like, what are you talking about? And sure enough, they just went and published it, didn't tell me. And so I was like, so then I was running around going, guys, it's a thing. I totally wanted to do a marketing plan, but that's out the window now. Buy it now, go.
That's right. It's there. Well, you know, they just do what they do. That's it. Alexis is here. Hey, Alexis, we're super glad you made it today. Deidre Ann Anderson is grateful to Caro for straightening me out on the proper pronunciation of her name. So very excited about that. Joanne Ninja Hen says, you are the governor. So there you go. Eva, wait, oh, hold on. Eva says, there's an audiobook link because I'm a sloth. All right, let's have that happening.
Oh, okay, fine.
All right. Yes, right. It's good. You guys are going to totally love it. Queens of Flame fans and flush jeans.
I need to screenshot that for later.
I'm the queen of typos and time zones. I think the book inspired me.
I don't know what I'm the queen of. Something. All right. Eva says it's our anniversary. Oh, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah. Carol's book is a gift. Done and done. I do hear it makes an excellent birthday gift, anniversary gift, you name it. There you go. Devin says, happy anniversary, Eva. All right. So I'm not going to go through and ask everybody how we did on the warm-up because it was a warm-up. I assume there were some words written and some dishes done. I want to make sure that we get enough sprints in today because it's 11:30 and I want you guys to like come here. As much as I know we all come for the chit-chat, we want to get some writing done today too. So, Joanne Ninja Hen just bought your audiobook. Yay. Laurel said, I'd love to hear more about the audiobook process from you. Have you done a video on it yet? That seems like a good idea. Kara says, I can. There you go. Happy anniversary. All right, so if you guys are looking for the Audible, for the audiobook of Queen of Swords and Silence, it's right there in the chat. There you go. Eva says, thank you. Thank you. He's put up with me for 2 decades.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Woo.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
And I wish you more decades even.
All right. Catherine says, I'm falling asleep. I've only had 4 hours. Oh my gosh. Do you have any videos about writers who've split from their agents, Lisa? Well, I don't, but I should do one. I've had
Alexa Dunn has videos about that.
Yeah, I've had a couple of different agents. Michelle, are you with your same agent or different?
Yeah,
agent?
over 10 years.
I have 2. I've been with my agent just about 10 years. It's not over. It's just about 10 years. But I had 2 agents. Well, technically 3 actually. Before that, although one was, we should do a video about it. Anyway, yes, good experiences leaving or not good for you?
I have several friends who have gone through multiple agents.
Yeah.
One of them, she's a brilliant writer. She's had 2 agents, and both times it didn't work out. It was definitely not on her end, you know?
Yeah.
And she struggled. She had a lot of health issues and depression and stuff for years. So she kind of took a break from writing, but she just got a great agent at Writer's House who is super excited about the book that she's been working on for the last year. They did like a big announcement about it, and I was just so thrilled for her because it's been a long, long journey for her.
It's hard.
So
yeah, it's really hard because it's somebody that you work really closely with, and you have to trust them, and it can take it's like dating, really. It can take a while to really find the person that you like connect with. So, Caro, I don't think I even know this about you. Are you agented? You were you were on your own. A lot of people are doing that.
I mean, this comes to no surprise to anyone. I'm kind of a lot to handle, so I just kind of like help other people by not having them endure me. So
we love to endure you. We love to endure you. All right, Laurel is eagerly awaiting a video about the audiobook process. Catherine, though, before I go back to this, I think this is an awesome idea, and I would definitely do that. So yes, it'll come soon. I love this idea. All right. Thank you for the link. Here we go. All right. Catherine says, please do. I'm trying to overcome the feeling of failure after our amicable split. You know what? It's just like a relationship where everybody's nice. And no, there's nothing really wrong with anybody. It's just that it's not a good fit, right? There's nothing on paper. It seems like you should be great, but it is just one of those things where there's something that's not quite right. But when you split from somebody, and this is true in both love and agenting, when you split from somebody who is not the perfect one for you, you are now opening yourself up to the person who is the perfect match for you. Yep. So yes, we'll do that. Catherine, if you have other questions you want me to specifically cover, and I'm totally going to rope Michelle into this. If you have other questions you want to cover, either send me a Facebook message or on one of the other socials, or put a note in the comments below, and I will cover it. So
I would like to hear a little bit about how the split occurred, and if it's not too personal. I don't have it, but I did have an art rep, which is like an agent for my art, and it was really bad.
Yeah.
They're there, and I would say from my experience, when they're there. People miscommunicate, and there can be little misunderstandings, but when they keep cropping up and those red flags keep occurring, there's usually something wrong, and that means it's not a good fit. I don't yell at people or get mad easily, but I had several arguments with them, and I said, if what I suspect is true, you need to get straight, because like we've always talked about, the creative industry is very small, and it spreads like what if you do something wrong. I pulled my art from him, and within a year everybody wanted to burn this guy at the stake because he was stealing from the till.
Oh,
wow.
Trust your gut.
Shysters out there.
Yeah.
Horror story. Now that's a horror story that I was not going to write.
Yeah. I mean, it's so rare that kind of thing happens, but you really do. And I think all of this has said this in one form or another on this stream and other places too. You are being an author is also being a business owner, and you have got to keep after your money and know where your stuff is coming in, where your rights are. And it's hard because a lot of times and I will say, especially earlier in my career, I love the fact that you would have a literary agent who would be the person to talk about money, because it was something earlier on I was way more uncomfortable than I am now. And yet that you're doing yourself a disservice if you are not really aware of all of the parts of your business. So it's smart, Robert, that you noticed that something was wrong, and we're able to correct it, because certainly there have been plenty of stories where, you know, there are always stories where creative people are screwed over.
I think it's because it's so hard to get representation in the first place that when it happens, we're supposed to be just falling all over ourselves grateful.
Right.
And it's like, but we don't think of it as a partnership.
No.
But it is.
It is.
I am falling into this because I don't have representation. I'm still looking. I'm querying. I am the still querying person in the panel, and it's hard.
Yeah.
But I have come to this stage where I really research the agents because, like I have always said, I am too diverse. I am not just an author of color. I am not just an LGBTQ. I am not just disabled. I am not just a religious minority. I'm all of them combined, and that just makes it harder and harder. And publishing paper, and sorry, I am peppy about it. I will always be peppy about it. I'm sorry, I don't care. But this whole thing that happened with the hashtag and the whole lip service. I mean, it's all lip service. Let's be honest. And I'm getting into the stage that it is a partnership, and I have to be very selective with whom I am querying, because if I'm just querying to get rejections, that's hopeless. And I have depression, so careful. But like, I have to be more selective. What are these agents actually tweeting about? What are these agents actually posting about on social media? Because what they say they want in their manuscript wish list was posted 3 months ago. They changed their mind. You have to research them proper and like look into their day-to-day life, and so you decide who you're going to query first in your genre, in your age category. And basically I write adult sci-fi, so I'm screwed. But the whole thing has made me go very selective and very like sniper. Like I'm not going to query in masses. I'm going to shoot like, oh, that person. It doesn't work still, but I got a proper feedback in my last rejection. So slowly but surely, maybe I will get one. Who knows?
Well,
Who knows?
Yeah, I think you're smart to be more selective in who it is that you are approaching. As far as being, screwed because you are writing in a specific genre, that's never true. And here's why: because you love to write it. There is some agent that's been dying to bring it back. Before Twilight and all that stuff became like this massive thing, and vampires made this massive comeback. It used to say on every agent's website, on every publisher's website, don't pitch us vampires. Don't pitch us that. Like, they didn't want it until they wanted it. So
yeah, check their Twitter. Check what they're posting. Check what they interact with. What they retweet, what shows are they watching, blah blah blah. Check them out like for real. Don't just look on their website. Look on their website to check out the guidelines.
Yeah, I'm sitting here telling y'all to legally stalk these people.
I don't know why I feel like that seems like a good point for for us.
Sorry, guys.
We're all worked up, right? I feel like we're all worked up, and that we should take all of that energy and
into a sprint.
That's right.
I'm so sorry, guys.
We're gonna put it into a sprint. No, it's good. We are gonna do the first one that comes up, because while I was trying to figure out what was making that weird noise today, I accidentally closed out of my window where I had Joanne Ninja Hen's 20-minute timer. So I'm going to have to go back. We'll get that one for the next sprint. But let's get rolling with another 20-minute sprint. Not another. Our first 20-minute sprint. We're making this happen, people. All right, here we go. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, 0, go. All right. Let's see. Let me get everybody rolling here. Okay, here we go, everybody. All right. Good. So how did everybody do?
Good.
Well.
Good. Super glad. All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. Good job, everybody. That went by super fast.
It did.
Like super fast. Oh my gosh. All right. So everybody in the chat, let us know how you did. Robert, how'd it go for you?
I got 384 words.
Woo! Nice.
I got 91 in the 5 minutes, so not too bad.
Look at you. Very nice. How about you, Michelle? How'd you do?
Good. I decided to do like a little book map. So I just use index cards and like summarize each chapter and then go through the notes and on the back of each card, write down the changes I need to make in the chapter. It just feels less overwhelming than looking at the big document, you know?
Right, than looking at a big thing. I know I am such a big fan of index cards for plotting and because they're so easy to rearrange, and it doesn't feel like when you just have this little card that you're working on before the scene, it does not feel overwhelming. Right. And you're clear on what your goal is for that scene. Like, okay, this
exactly.
So it gives you a lot of freedom, but also like you have a map from A to B. So good. Doll, how'd you do?
Well, do you remember when people talk about like getting rejections and handling it privately? Well, that's what we're doing over here. It's not my rejection. It's friends of mine's. So
that's it's tough. It's really tough. That's the suckiest part of this business.
Hurts me because I have seen the material. It's great. I'm very demanding, and I consider this writer to be even way better than me, way better. And so the rejection kind of hit me. Like, I don't know. I shouldn't be feeling anything, but I do. So,
I have a story that might help. Well, first of all, I want to backtrack a little bit and say that, when we're looking for that agent and it's so hard, and then you meet one person who wants to take on your work, they can be very flattering. And that's why I jump often towards the first thing that comes along. But when I finished my first novel, the one that is now becoming my series, I queried. And I fortunately had a relationship for years, like a student teacher with Saul Stein. And I wrote a query letter. And I sent it to Saul, and I said, how does this sound? He rewrote my query letter, sent it back to me, and told me what he was doing and why as sort of an instruction. So I had a Saul Stein written query letter that I sent to tons of agents, and they all rejected it.
Oh, no.
So it wasn't even mine. It was a writer who was much more established, looking at his words and saying, no, we're not interested. What would happen to Stephen King if he were anonymous and he tried to get it? I know for a fact that he would have a very hard time, because if they knew it was Saul Stein, they wouldn't be rejecting it.
Right.
Yeah.
But
that's why in my video when I was talking about making a query letter, and I was like, man, what would be easy? These people put it in their freaking website what they wanted in their own query letters, because y'all freaking different.
Yeah. They are all different, and like writing queries, which is in the same sense like writing titles, is a much different skill set than writing books. One is more marketing focused, and the other one is, is writing a book. And the thing is, I think that people think that their book idea is not necessarily good if they can't even get in the door. But the truth is that you may just not be great at writing query letters. It is a much different, it's a much different skill set. So
you are. I thought that query letter, I thought I have a professional Saul Stein written query letter. This is going to give me a leg up with agents. So your friend should not take it personally. No one should. I think there is a timing when agents are actually accepting, even if it says in their bio they're looking for people, because they always have to be open, and
Right.
they are kind of always looking for the next great thing. But when that door is shut, it doesn't even make it to the agent. They have somebody stuck form letters and envelopes or returning emails, and what is it based on? We're not accepting right now. We're too busy. So, just politely send those rejection slips.
Right. Well, we should definitely do we should cover this topic more, because it is
we should cover it in October.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should.
For a reason, or just like
I say that because I have plans in October. I mean, like, that would fit perfectly into my plan.
Ooh, okay.
We'll cover it in October. But like, it is, the truth is it's hard to get through that first gatekeeper and the second gatekeeper and the third gatekeeper. And the other thing to keep in mind is that the people who are published are not necessarily always the best.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Like, they're not. There are plenty of fantastic unpublished writers, just as there are plenty of hacky, terrible published writers. And we can all think of probably both in our minds right now. So, so it's hard not to take it personally. It's really hard not to take it personally.
I think I got more fired up than my friend.
I know.
Just because I have seen the material and I'm like, okay, if you don't want to take my sci-fi because it's too weird, okay, great. I mean, I'll take it, like, for all the things I already said. But come on, this book is fantastic. What are you doing? So I'm the one who's like firing up over here.
I know. Well, and again, it may just not be a killer query letter, or the book concept might not be ready. I mean, there are a million things. It's harder though to write a query than you would think. So I get it. It's tough. It's really tough. We had some really good questions, and I want to get to some of them. And I also want to talk about focus today. So I want to make sure we did that, since I said we're going to talk about focus. I would hate for us to be so unfocused we did not cover it.
I just want to answer a question Ava asked me like forever ago. Which one's better in regards to the question audiobooks? Because I already made my money back.
Already. Yeah, I actually I literally had my little cursor hovered over it.
Get in my head, Charles.
Which gets an author? So Ava writes, which gets an author more profit or marketing perks? An audiobook purchase, a physical book purchase, an Audible listen, a new Audible account to listen. So I don't know if you're talking about perks like as far as royalties, or perks as far as like juice with Amazon. I think, at least from my understanding, a book is a book is a book is a book as far as your sales numbers go. But for royalties, I have I books in hardcover, in trade paper, and my ebook royalties are like about the same as my hardcover royalties, and my ebook royalties are more generally than my trade paper royalties. So is that about what you've got too, Michelle? Is it like, you wouldn't usually, ebooks are less, but when the numbers work out, they generally, because your royalties higher usually.
My ebook sales it's middle grade. It's like it's like a fraction of my total sales. Most of my sales are hardcover, and there's like for the book that I have an audiobook for, I just have one. The audiobook sales are okay, but for me, it's mostly hardcover paperback.
Yeah,
like 95%.
Really?
I really think that's just the genre, though. That's
yeah.
You know, especially when you're talking about schools and libraries and stuff, they get copies. They don't do much.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. I wrote I did a work for hire project last year, which was this like middle grade pop music book. And if you look at it on Amazon, I don't think there's like a single review on it. It's like this weird sort of, but it's through a company that sells exclusively to schools. So it's sold like thousands and thousands and thousands of copies.
Mm-hmm.
But like normal human readers are not like coming across it and reading it. It's basically a book like if you're a sixth grader and you want to do your book report on Ariana Grande, that's my book is the book for you. It's kind of like weird.
Yeah.
But that book has like no ebook sales. It's the same kind
Right.
of thing. So yeah, exactly. So
I know-
that is a good question. What were you gonna say, Cara?
I was going to say, I know for me, my audiobooks sell more. In fact, when I wrote my book and I published it, everybody was like, well, tell me when the audiobook is out. And I was like, or you could buy a physical copy so I can afford to make the audiobook. Like, help a sister out here. But I definitely have already gone ahead and made my money back because I financed I financed making the book. And so since then and it sells more too. I mean, I have to get the actual sales numbers from Otherworld Inc. to find out what it is. But if it's the same as what it was before, I was averaging about like 10 books a month of my stuff, which I'm like, that's not too bad. You know, that's fine. But I've already gone ahead and sold like 60 since it came out. So
Oh,
Well, that's good. That's
Yeah.
really good.
I had to check. I was like,
Yeah, I have been sitting on, like, my first book, Stop Getting Dumped, was definitely my most successful as far as sales numbers go. And I have been sitting on the audio rights for that book for years. And my big plan was that I was going to do something with them over the summer. And it's like TikTok almost the end of August, so we'll see. I have to at least make a decision about that. So when we first started, I want to go back. There was more agent talk, and I want to go through the thing. You guys in the chat, let us know how you did on the last sprint. And if anybody has, Eva's already got it, so we're good on that. So I want to talk about focus and productivity because this is something that we have talked about, sort of danced around a little bit, like how everybody has been struggling with, you know, getting your normal word count in that you usually would get, or staying focused, or just getting things done. And Robert said something the other day that I found to be really profound, which is about how, Robert, do you remember what you said? Here, let me just put you on the spot. Remember everything you said to me for the last 3 months. What did you say?
It was about how COVID takes us out of our routine, and since life and the world is ever changing, it keeps us from forming those habits and those habitual things that structure our lives. So since we don't have structure, we don't have the focus that we had. So my thought was we need to, within our safe space of our homes, form some kind of a microstructure that we can follow, which isn't going to stop the world from throwing us out of balance now and then. But the more we do it, the easier it will be to get back into those habits, because this is kind of our world. It always was, but the outside world has thrown it.
Right.
So we need to kind of focus on structure, and therein those planners and those things. You know, I bought a planner and I'm working on it now, so I'll probably watch you guys drunken stream if I don't join it. And get
I was gonna say, if you want to join, we're always happy to have you. I think like Tipsy Robert might be fun. That's a new exciting experience for all of us. So the thing I think that like was like this aha moment for me with what you said was basically that because right now the world is constantly in flux, we can't get it's like it's spinning. It is spinning.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's spinning and then it stops and it spins in a different direction, we can't get our bearings because the world is changing from day to day. So we have no ability to sort of create a normal structure that we normally would. And
habit, so that habit is broken all the time if we look at the outside world. So we need to, I think, look at it in controlled bursts and focus on what we can control and not what we can't control.
Yes.
That is exactly it. So you said this to me, which got me really like thinking, because I have spent a lot of the pandemic lamenting about the fact that I'm not writing as much as I normally do, and I can't write at the beach, and so we had that conversation. And then I also watched Chris Fox's video, which I linked down in the description, about trajectory. And he tells this story about how and you guys should definitely watch the video. It's short, but it's awesome. He talks about how he had seen a Tony Robbins thing a million years ago. And that if you are taking a flight from Los Angeles to Hawaii, I'm paraphrasing here. You're taking a flight from Los Angeles to Hawaii, and the pilot is 1 degree off. You will not end up in Hawaii. You will end up in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
And he was saying, like, think about what you're doing now and what your trajectory is. So if you continue what you were doing this week or every week going forward, is your trajectory like this as far as your books, or is your trajectory like this, or are you losing progress? Are you going to crash into the ocean? And I thought, if I continue my productivity levels, because I keep thinking, oh, well, this is going to end, and hopefully it will, but in the event that I'm trapped in my house for another 1.5 years, I don't want to waste that much time of my career and my life.
Yeah.
And what he was talking about was like, yep, if you write an extra 15 minutes a day, well, that's like either by the end of the year, that's like a big, fantasy or 2 smaller books. And if you write 5,000 words a day, then, your trajectory is like this. And that was obviously his goal. And, the guy's cranking out a lot of books, so there is definitely something to that. And so I started thinking about all of that, and I want to know what you guys are doing. For me, I took a vacation day, which I really needed, and I feel like a new person. I did not work. I told everyone I was on vacation. I was goofy all day, and it was like the best day I've had in 6 months. And then the other thing is I used to track where I wrote to find out where I was most productive, but then once I found that out, I stopped. And instead of now thinking I can't go to these 3 places where I'm the most productive, I thought I need to figure out where in my house or on my patio am I the most productive, what time, what kind of music, etc. So that's what I am doing to get more focused and think about, is this the trajectory I want to be on right now? And how can I be the most productive and inspired in the new normal? What are you guys doing?
Chris Fox also said something like, writing half an hour a day and getting something like 300 words would be over per year, and that would be more than a novel for most people. So even doing it in small bursts. But that's something about habits that I've talked about before on my channel. If you start with small habits, even a couple minutes a day, it expands, because that's what habits do. They grow and they expand as you become kind of addicted and they become habitual. And
it's inertia. It's inertia. You could just, sitting down to write is the hardest part. You could stay stagnant forever. You have to give it that first push, and then you build momentum, and it keeps going throughout the day. That's how it works for me. The change I've made in the last, this year since all of this started, is I used to plan on working on like 2 to 3 projects a day. So I would like draft something in the afternoon and revise another thing in the morning, and then revise another thing in the afternoon or whatever. And it just stopped working for me. It used to work great. And once quarantine started, I don't know, it was like I would shift gears into another project and just slow down and lose everything that I had built up that morning. So now I'm just like, today is this book's day. And then I'm going to start it early in the morning, and I found that my momentum just keeps going and going, and I'm getting a lot more done just in general in a day by focusing on only one thing. But I mean, I don't know if that's going to work for everybody. For some people, it helps a lot to focus on a couple of different things during the day, like break it down into smaller chunks. I think maybe we just all need a little bit of a change this year to help us adapt to the changes that the world is forcing on us.
Yeah. I think that's such great advice, and I'm so glad that you change things up. I think that's it. I think for a lot of people, this is certainly my issue. I know it was Robert's issue. Carol's talked about this a little bit. I know Doll's had some stuff she's gone down. That the things that were working for us before are not working, and we need to do something different in order to find out what does work. And it really is shocking if you track what you're doing for a couple of weeks and just make notes on, I wrote here, I was listening to this kind of music or not listening to this kind of music, and here's where I was when I was doing that, and just you'll start seeing those patterns emerging. And I think that can really help with what we're all going through right now. And Carol, can you please tell I always bring this up, it's my favorite of your advice, your goal setting advice, which is
whenever you decide to plan for something, plan like you're going to be sick, like just the entire time.
Yes.
Granted, I say that, but as you can see, my to-do list is pretty full. But always do that. And also, I think what's really important is just like having it's going to sound really weird, having a sense of self-awareness about what works for you. So for example, I'm doing the Milwardy challenge, right? That Kate Kavanaugh talked about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo. So I'm doing that. And the reason I ended up doing the push is, first off, I saw the spreadsheet and I was like, oh, I like spreadsheets. But then when I actually sat down and I looked at all my unfinished works, I was just kind of like, what the flying F am I doing here? So I'm using that challenge to actually finish those works, because that is going to generate income and it's going to make me feel good to have those things done. And knowing that and just kind of tracking my progress there, that's really helpful for me. But also at the same time, I've already kind of gone through the process of knowing what works for me and what doesn't work for me. Like earlier this year, I had a different planner, and in that planner, I was actually tracking like my stress and my sleep patterns and things like that. And, obviously when I am stressed, and when I say stressed, I don't talk about like pandemic stress. I'm talking about like friendship level stress. If I have an interpersonal relationship with somebody and it causes me a lot of stress, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, you are no good for me. Get out of my space. You are not welcomed here.
Yeah.
And that might hurt that person's feelings, but I got to say, if you are jacking up my life, you don't get to stay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That is good advice. Not
I do take
Just
your
for
advice
writing,
on planning like I'm sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sick thing.
If you're jacking up my life, you don't get to stay. Say that again, Robert. Sorry, go ahead.
When some of you know this, but I had a car accident at one point. I wasn't creating. I wasn't doing much of anything, and I tried to write, and I was writing drivel. So what I did when I couldn't focus is I took it as a period of learning. I tried not to take it too seriously. So it's a great time for craft books, and it's a great time for YouTube channels, because you can look at different people's techniques, and if one thing is boring you one day and you need to change up, go experiment with different techniques. I used to get craft books and I would open them up like a textbook, and I would say, here's one chapter on this, and I would apply it to my work in progress, because then it sticks in your mind, because you're actually taking action with what you're reading and not just skimming through it. And I used it as a time for learning and as a time for building myself back up.
This is why you know so much about craft, Robert.
Part of it, yeah.
That's really good advice. All right, let's see how everybody did in the chat on the last sprint, and then we will go into another sprint, and we're going to come back and talk more about agents when we come back. So, and if you guys have good productivity advice that is working for you, or just getting your groove back advice, we want to hear it. So send that over in the chat, and we'll talk about those when we come back as well. So let's see what everybody was up to. Charlie's got to go back to class. Thanks for helping me write with sprints. Yay! Nicole got a half a blog post done, and a friend coached through a relationship crisis of his own making. Success. I love to hear that, Nicole. That's awesome. Woman after my own heart here. All right, Cara's to-do list inspired me. I've been checking things off my to-do list this morning. Doesn't that feel good?
Yeah.
I love a to-do list with all the lines checked through. That's like one of the greatest joys in life. All right. Deidre Ann, 412 words. Nice job. Stephen was researching agents. Yay, you. Yes, definitely.
Good luck, Stephen.
That's right. Doll is with you in spirit. Laurel finished various life stuff. I'm about to actually sit at the computer. Great. Bonnie got 153. Yay. Stacy got email done, figured out how we were related, so I'm trying to add the missing child so I can link our trees together. Yay me for figuring out the puzzle. Isn't it funny how creativity works? Like,
yes,
it's that ability to make those like connections.
We're all detectives, yes.
Exactly. We are all detectives. So, Stacy got that one done. Ava ran across the house to grab a book, chatted in another stream off Wednesday. # yes. Sarah got my kitchen island cleaned off and organized, done most of the dishes. I can see the kitchen from my office. I'm already happier with my view. I did do that. I cleaned my office because when your life is in chaos, your house is often in chaos. And I thought, like, I am probably not working because I have too much stuff going on in my brain and on my desk. I cleaned it off, and suddenly I was feeling much better and more productive. All right. Steve, and Nicole says, I'm a big fan of Stephen King's outlook on rejection.
Mm.
I even have a railroad spine. That's awesome. Rejection sucks. Yes, it does.
I do.
Spence says hello from my phone.
Hi, Spence.
Hi, phone. All right. CEO Savvy, rejection crushes even the hardest of hearts. I fear my own query rejections. You know what? I have always believed that failure is part of the learning process, and it's also part of the publishing process. So just know that this is part of it. It's just the same as learning to type or understanding how plot works. It is just part of the gig. So instead of looking at it as they are personally rejecting you as a human being, try to just sort of see it as like, I'm kind of above this, and take like the long view of it, and know that this is part of the process. Not every agent is a good fit for every writer, but there are readers who want to read what you have written, and rejection is challenging for sure, but it's part of it. It's going to happen. So let's just embrace it, right? It's a good opportunity to learn.
I got advice from someone in the authortube community, someone, and thank you very much for that piece of advice about my own book. So this one is about my thing. Like, I'm improving it because, like you said, Lisa, this is a process. I'm still learning. I'm still improving it. I'm still revising it. It's going to take a while, and blind writer problems. But the person also told me that after improving this thing, if I am still getting rejected for whatever reason, it's maybe not just my fault, because the industry in itself is going through some severe changes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's always moving, but it's generally moving fairly slow. But right now, the publishing industry has a lot of changes happening, and not just publishing as in traditional publishing industry, but indie publishing, how books are distributed. It's all in this kind of state of flux. So yeah, you got to figure out what's going to work best for you. I love this from Eva. Imagine 20 of your friends sending you stories and you have to pick one. It's not personal.
That's great. Yeah.
That is.
It's like Caro said, you wish that they would publish what they're looking for, but I wish they would publish when they're actually looking. Because like, not always. And those submissions will go to the most junior person on the staff, and they'll read it, fill out the rejection form, send it back, and even when they are looking, they will decide whether or not it gets in the agent's hands and they take it home to read it or whatever.
Or you get the intern on their first power trip, and they're kind of like, reject, it's a good book. You'll never know.
Well, they just have different tastes than, there are a million reasons why you get rejected. It's hard, but you can also up your chances of getting accepted, at least for agency representation, which increases your chances of getting published through a traditional publisher.
And
so
going through a time like we are now, when they're actually, their hands are full, they don't have people in the office, or they're just not looking.
Right.
So get a rejection, keep cycling it, because when you do another draft and you've gone through a few agents, don't be afraid in 6 months or whatever to send it back to the people that rejected you, because they probably won't even remember reading it. Filled out the rejection form. It's not personal. Just keep sending it back and
just keep going. Right. You never know when it's going to hit. And always remember, like every author, Stephen King has good stories about this. There are plenty of massively successful authors, best-selling authors, who have a drawer full of rejection letters. It's part of this. It sucks while it's happening, but it happens to everybody, and it will burnish you and make you strong for this business.
I gotta say, and I won't say who this is, but I know somebody who actually did get one of the very first agents they queried and then sold their book immediately. So there was like zero rejection up front, but years later, they ran into problems. And for example, a book that they had spent a long time working on didn't work out, and they had a contract with a publisher that got canceled. And this person was not prepared emotionally
For
to
that.
deal with that, because, and I think a big part of it is they had not been through the beating that most of them to get to that point. So it really, like, the rejection stage, as much as it sucks, it really does. It just makes you better. It makes you better at dealing with this industry. It makes you better at writing. I know it sounds awful to say that.
No, I did have a really easy, like, literally my agent sort of plucked me out of obscurity. I never even queried before I was represented. Don't hate me for that. But before that, I worked in advertising, and I sent my book out to a gazillion top agencies, and I got killed on it over and over and over. So I've had that experience. I did not have it in publishing, but I did have it when I worked in advertising. And I think part of the reason that it was a fluke that I didn't have it in publishing. It was a fluke. But I've done other people's query letters, and I have a little bit of a secret. So we should talk about that. Not this time though, because we still have a sprint to do. So I love this comment that Ava wrote about imagining 20 of your friends sending you stories. And I think 20 of my friends are getting ready to write stories right now. So we should do it. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I thought I had it all up. Ooh, I do. I've got it. I'm cool. Here we go. 20-minute, and we're going to use Joanne Ninja Hens. Awesome. Here we go. Ready? We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, sprint. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Unmute everybody I muted. All right. Yay. Last sprint. 7 minutes to go. I think we're going to see how everybody did on this, and hopefully we'll finish on time so Doll can actually eat lunch before she goes and does her stream. So how did everybody do? You guys in the chat, let us know. I'm going to try to get through these comments. Chasing Epiphany said one could write a Kafka-esque story about an author trying to sell their book their entire life, never getting a clear answer over why it gets rejected. Wasn't there like a, I love this idea. It's terrible. It's like I said like that's my worst nightmare. But wasn't there like a Twilight, like a classic Twilight Zone or something where the guy, like, he never has enough time to read, so he ends up in, I don't remember where I heard about it. He ends up with all the books in the world, but his glasses are broken.
Oh
so
no!
Eternity with all these books, but no glasses. So, Jeannie says, "Doll, I hear you. Sci-fi is supposed to be fantastic, yet people are still kind of put off by exploring ideas. There are always people who want to read those books, and if you get enough of them together, the publisher will see." And I will say, one of the things that will help you get published is having a platform.
Yes.
I mean, it's a major deal.
That's what I'm telling my friend.
Be able to sell some of those books.
That's what I'm telling my friend. Let's build a platform. Let's grow the platform that we already have. Whatever. So it's like, yeah, I see that because I see the numbers. You know, like I see people getting published. They say that for fiction, platform is not that important. It is important.
It's important. It's probably less important than it is for nonfiction. But if you have two writers and one has a great book and the other one has a great book and a platform, which one are they going to take? You know, there's a limited number of resources as far as publisher resources. So yeah, they have to, you know, and they're big companies now. So there's less of what they're able to do for love. They have to justify in a lot of ways.
Especially in pandemics times.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So this is interesting. CO Savvy says, so they do not state why they're rejecting you. I would hope to at least learn from such a negative experience. Okay, so I will tell you that
It depends.
From Praying Mike's. So some of them you will get a form rejection letter. It's not for us. Thank you very much. Blah, blah, blah. Sometimes they will ask for a partial. They'll ask for 10 pages or 30 pages or whatever their particular thing is. And at that point, once they read that, once they give you a request for part of your book, they will generally tell you what they like about it or what they don't like about it. At that point. And some of them are like, well, it's still not for me, but at least they'll say something that they like. And obviously, if they ask you for a partial, there's something that they're excited about. And then in the case of Mike, he got an agent from Writer's House actually sent back like not only a big letter, but also like all these editorial notes of like, I would like to see this, like, and have like a call with him that was like an hour. And so it depends on the agent and it depends on how far along you are in the process. If they're just rejecting you based on your initial query letter, then the problem is with the letter. That's where they won't tell you. But once you get a little farther in, then they'll tell you why they're rejecting you or why they want to see the next part, where they say, oh, this is an intriguing idea and, you know, this. Or they'll ask you questions about the things that they think that you might be lacking in.
Yeah.
All right. Novel Nana's here. Have had a slightly background as she's trying to get ready for the grandbabies. Oh, that's fantastic. Jeannie Marcella, unfortunately, they're swamped with queries and don't have the time. That's true at the very early stages. You get so many queries. Let's see.
You're like You're like 40 minutes behind in the comments.
Am I? Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to go. I hate to do this, you guys. Mary Wembley made it. Stephen did. Agent, I'll start from the bottom. I think that's it. You guys did great. Nicole got a second blog post written and scheduled. Novel Nana got 173 words. Yay. I had to reread the entire. I did this yesterday in Caro's stream. Very Bad Books is here. Hello, we're so glad you made it.
Katya.
Story D.
Hey,
She's always happy to see you. Bonnie Phillips got 336. Devin says, hey to Very Bad Books. We're so glad you made it. I'm so glad you're here today. And then there was a whole really fascinating discussion about NaNoWriMo and whether or not it hurts or helps. And I would love to have this talk next time, because I think it's not something we can do justice to in the couple minutes that we have left. But yes, I think there's something to this idea that that trying to get this done with that speed is can sort of put you back sometimes. So, all right, I am 40%. Novel Nana. I'm going back to see. Theo Savvy says, such great rejection advice. I'm so pumped now. Aww,
Hardcore rejection.
Hardcore rejection. Novel Nana says, I've been binge watching several channels. I've learned so much. I'm able to see the writer mistakes I've made while revising several old works in progress. My tip, never stop learning. Yes, that is it's
We
always,
never stop learning.
It never
exactly. Yeah. Okay, so this is a really good point. ADHD writer says failure is part of success. You literally can't be successful if you haven't failed, because you wouldn't know what success feels like, because it's just the norm. I will also say this too. If you only try to accomplish things you know you can accomplish, then you don't know what you can accomplish, because you've never pushed that ceiling. I always tell my kids, if you are not failing sometimes, you are not trying hard enough, because you have to know what your limits are and then try to push through those too. So you guys are awesome today. Stacy said, Caro, it's a possibility. I think
We were talking about the mill wordy thing, and Stacy isn't really big on like word count challenges. So I mean, whatever works for you.
yeah.
I'm with you, Stacy. I'm not big on workout challenges either, because blind writer problems.
Word counts.
Well-
I can't lie.
And the other thing about that is, like, isn't it? It's always better, I think, to just be competing against yourself. It's hard. Not, I mean, certainly the streams are like, hey, how did everybody do? And people like turning in the word counts. And honestly, it does push me harder to go like, well, Carol's going to get 8,000. I'll see if I can get 12. And so there is something to that. But if it were impacting me negatively, I would do it in a different way. So I hope this has been productive for everybody. Let me know how you did, guys, as we go around and do our outros. But how did we do today? So let's start with Story D.
Well, I got 363 that time, 838 for the entire stream.
Nice.
My channel is The Story Detective, where we detect stories, we analyze them, and look for various craft techniques that you can use. So if you like craft techniques and you want to experiment, then check out my channel. And I also do tech reviews with keyboards and stuff that may be helpful to writers. And we all love keyboards, so check it out.
Awesome. Michelle, how'd you do? And tell us about your channel. Oh, hold on, you're muted. You muted yourself. I can't undo you.
Sorry, my dog is being noisy. I got 10 chapters book mapped. Yay!
Yay!
And I'm Michelle Schusterman. I'm middle grade and young adult author. My channel is all traditional publishing advice, like the stuff we talked about today, and writing workshops and writing blogs. Also, real quick, I just found out this morning that next week I'm going to be on a Readsy live stream on their YouTube channel talking about middle grade. So if any of you guys out there are middle grade writers, please come join us. It'll be Wednesday at 3 p.m. EST.
If you have a link to that, Michelle, I'll put it down in the description.
I think he's setting it up
yeah,
still,
send it to
but
me and I'll link to it. Cool. All right. Doll, how'd you do? And tell us about you.
So I made breakfast, and when I was coming back, it was like 3 minutes left, and I decided, can I eat 3 waffles in 3 minutes? And I did. That was the sprint. So, and thank you again. Sorry for my firing up today. I'm really sorry. That thing got me out of whack this morning. But okay, I'm back to my normal. And thank you for having me, Lisa. I am Dal. I am the partially blind alien who is a known voices author, aka the ace from space. I write primarily science fiction, which is hard to query. and I like to explore other genres with my short stories, and I also write some poetry. I stream on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, so I'm getting ready for that. And I'm co-hosting wherever I'm invited. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so 2 things. Doll's link to Doll's stream is down in the description, so if you want to go check that out, she starts streaming at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is in about an hour. And Doll, you do not have to apologize for writer problems. That is why we are all here, is to help each other through this stuff. So your problems are our problems, baby. We're here. All right. All right, Caro, post-run Caro looks now glowy and relaxed. She has the vibrant skin of someone who is well exercised and taking good care of herself.
Yeah, right. I tried to. Actually, fun side joke, and then I'll do my outro, is that Mr. Brown had like come over to grab my arm, and he was like, whoa, and I was like, yeah, feel those guns. But my name is Cara Brown. I have a channel here on YouTube where I talk about the life of Cara Brown. I've got books out. I also write under the name of Faye Black. I've got an anthology that is coming out September 16th if you guys are interested. I have thrown the link in there. I will throw it in there again if you want. I wrote 1,000 words in Lisa's stream today, but that was all basically proofreading and clarifying before I sent it off to the alpha. And I had to do it because he started like poking me in messages going like, now. And I was like, take it and get away from me. But come back tomorrow.
It's good. It's good to have people that are concerned, that they're like, I want to read this book. I want to read it right now. It's always good to have people to nag you because they want to see your writing sooner rather than later.
Yeah, no, so I am appreciative of that. So
awesome. Well, I am Lisa Daly. This is my channel. Thank you so much for all of you being here. You guys are fantastic. I love that we have such a good group, both on the panel and in the chat. You guys are awesome. As you probably know, I am a traditionally published author who writes rom-coms and dating advice. And on my channel, I give writing and publishing advice. So thank you so much for being here today. I don't know if I talked about what I did. Anyway, I worked on my on a rom-com in progress, and I'm making really good progress on it. My goal for August was to just get it, actually it was my Camp Nano goal, but it has extended to August, is to get it in shape for my agent to start sending it out. And so I'm very close to that, and I'm feeling really good about it. So yay. All right, everybody. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, Doll's stream starts in 54 minutes. So get yourself some lunch and a big glass of water and head on over there. Thanks for being here today. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.